I need a buffer. There we go. And let's go. Okay. I think that's us live now. Hello, good evening, everybody out there. Everybody is one eye of Sauron at the moment. Good evening. This is welcome to the Friday night review show of the Arsenal Cape Town Official Supporters Club. We are gathered here tonight to talk. Oh, it's been a miserable week. We are gathered here tonight to talk about a very underwhelming result after Sunday's humiliation. We figured we'd all bounce back nicely yesterday, but there was no bouncing back. Joining me tonight, let me just first point out that my co-host, Lameez, is not here tonight. She had a few other things to do, and she won't be here for the next month because I believe the fast starts next week. So if anybody wants to co-host the show with me, please put up your hand and you can join me in the studio and you can do all this lovely little stuff that I get to do. And the lovely stuff tonight involves speaking to three panelists. We've got regulars Alex Marsh from the UK. Alex, how's it going?
Good, thank you.
Wolfie Witten here from Cape Town.
Shalom.
And then we've got Derrick Brandt, a new face. Well, not so much a face as a logo. Who is I think he's from Cape Town, but at the moment he's from a road somewhere. Derrick, how are you doing?
Hi guys, I'm Morgan. No, I'm fine, man. Hi Wolfie. Hi Alex.
How's it, buddy? How's it, Color Style? All right. How's it, buddy? How's it, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We're just settling quickly. And Morgan, I'm actually from Worcester. So that
from
you guys
Worcester?
know. Yeah. So I'm from Worcester. I don't know if Alex knows where.
No, Alex is from Cape Town. He lived here for many years in many parts of Cape Town. To my surprise, some parts more surprising than others. So he's well familiar with Worcester. Don't worry. All the people who come on, even the ones from the UK, are all from Cape Town, really. Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, Derrick, I'm going to ask you, just tell us a little bit about yourself. We now know that you're in Worcester. How many Arsenal supporters are there in Worcester? Are there many?
Listen, man, Morgan, as you know, it's difficult to get Arsenal supporters out there and that say that they're Arsenal supporters, especially in the times that we are now. So in Worcester, there is a quite large contingency of Arsenal supporters. But yeah, they won't let you know about it.
Are you saying they won't admit to being an Arsenal supporter right now?
Yeah, something like that. But when it goes well, you hear all about them.
Okay,
Color Style, I just want to ask you a question. So where do you watch your games? I'm talking about before COVID. Would you have a couple of Arsenal buddies to go watch the games with you, have your back?
Yeah, usually we are a tight bunch. We are 4 guys. So it's me, John, and Roderick. They're actually partners in the Soccer Colored Style program. So we just go to some other. We have a casino there with quite a large screen. So if you want to chill, we just go there and watch the games. But Roderick is from Cape Town, and apparently there's some kind of Arsenal pub in Cape Town that he usually goes to watch the games. Are you aware of that?
That's where we go there. Well, we used to go there more regularly than we do now.
That's the base. Yeah, that's the base for all the Cape Townians. We normally head off there where there's big games. Those that's living close by will pop in there on a regular basis. So yeah.
I'm also going to come there one day if it's open again because Roderick has actually asked me to come and watch a game there. So maybe I'll see you guys in person very soon.
That'll be nice. But I must just say, the idea of watching a football game in a casino sounds a lot more appealing. Although the pub does have a little one-arm bandit section there, don't they, Wolfie?
This Color Style told me he lost half his monthly salary in the last 2 weeks because of depression. It's difficult for him. Well,
No, they know
it's difficult. It's difficult. He's now gone to gambling now instead of supporting Arsenal. But yeah, we
No, no,
all
no,
have our
and,
problems.
no,
Yeah, so
Wolfie, I
guys,
think you're right. Yeah.
yeah, guys. So I'm
You got your
promoting, as you know.
tablets, Mogi. You got your tablets. He's got his casino. I got my beer. Alex, what do
Alex,
you
what
have?
if?
Something to fall back on, man.
Alex, I see Alex changed his second name to Mikhail in support of the manager. What's up? What's the M there? Come on. What's up, man?
But I might change it back again.
Yeah. Okay, the name has come off, but this is how loyal I was. There used to be an F at the end. There used to be an F here. Le Prof. So, yeah.
Okay.
I used to be a Vengarian. Anyway,
Oh my
it's nice to have you, Derrick. Nice to have you as well, people out there watching the show, including Brandon Bakerbass Baker. I still have to figure out what that all means. But anyway, guys, tonight we're here to talk about last night's game. Yes, there was the Europa League game, wasn't there? A sad Europa League game. So let's just talk. We're just gonna get stuck into it straight away. I just want to share. I just want to have a look, see if I can do this. Sorry, now that my partner in crime is not here, it's easy to get lost. But Alex, you didn't answer the question. How do you manage being an Arsenal supporter at the moment? What's your coping mechanism?
With great difficulty. I distract myself with other things like moving house and. There's only so many times you can move house, though, unfortunately, and I'm nearly finished. So now I've got to concentrate on Arsenal again, and it's not good.
As if being an Arsenal supporter wasn't bad enough, you then go and throw in a move as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So last night, it seems, was the night for the away teams. Villarreal managed to get an away goal and an away win at Dynamo Zagreb. Slavia Prague, we'll talk about that little affair now. Man United, 2-0 against Granada. Yeah, and I think the last game was a bit of an upset as well, with Roma beating Ajax, because Ajax was the more favoured side. Okay, yeah. So I just want to see. Sorry, just give me a second here. Again, this is where my partner is supposed to step up. I just want to go before we start. I have to give away a coffee voucher because we just want to talk about the predictions. Some of us, Brandon last week famously reversed his prediction on what he'd done a week earlier when he declared famously that we were going to win 3-1 and then infamously said that we were going to lose 1-3 last night. Then Dean Elsa and Warren put all the money on a 1-1 draw. They got the score right. And then the rest of us were all wrong to varying degrees. Charlton was barely wrong, and Alex was very egregiously wrong. Wolfie, even Wolfie, with all his issues with Arsenal and Arteta at the moment, figured we'd win. And we didn't. So, Wolfie, tell me, okay.
I lost you there.
Yeah, Morgan's frozen.
Morgan's still
Mr.
there.
Morgan, are you there?
Morgan, come in.
Oh.
Guys, let's just host the show on our own.
You're on mute, so Morgan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, he's back.
No, he's on mute.
Oh, there we go. I muted myself.
There we go, sir. I never heard any word he said.
Was I here visually? So you heard none of this thing about the predictions?
No, we heard the predictions. Yep. You were about to ask me a question.
Oh, yes. Does anybody know Dean Elsa? Does anybody know Dean Elsa?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So if you can just pass on these details to me so we can get his Vida Cafe voucher to him. Sure. He's won some free coffee. But I want to start off and talk about last night's game. Wolfie, your thoughts?
Yes,
sir. Your thoughts on what happened last night? What did happen last night?
besides me falling asleep, I'm telling you guys, we all expected some backlash from the players. I expected it. My score prediction showed I was optimistic, but it just seems that I mean, I don't want to throw the manager in, but players, I mean, let's start with the players here. I mean, Saka, he gets an opportunity, goalie to beat. Very seldom that you get 2 goalie to beats in a game, let alone 1. He gets a goalie to beat. He doesn't get it on target. He misses the goal completely. We should have been 1-0 up. Lacazette does all the hard work, robs the guy of the ball, goalie to beat, top, you'd have bet your money. He would have scored. He kicks the ball high. Do you know that when he hit the crossbar, it made it look good? But what was he doing kicking it high? I mean, this is a I would say like a world class striker, and he misses it. I mean, it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Aubameyang comes on. He got a quick okay. For his sake, he was barely a minute on the field when the chance came to him. He missed his chance too. And the rest is history. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, schoolboy defending, we 1-0 ahead, and I mean, we
yes. This is just a moment.
No. I mean, look at that. I mean, you should be scoring. You should be scoring.
Yes.
He's through. Yes. His position is in the middle of the ball. He can decide to go left. Right, he can dink it over the keeper. He can smash the ball in. You should be scoring that. I mean, I watched the game of Chelsea. Many of us we were raving about Saka. Saka's had a couple of good games, but we forget how poor he was. How poor he was in that Spurs game. He was so poor. He got injured, and all of a sudden the guy's in the team. What's up with Martinelli? Why can't he get a chance? I mean, I watched the game. I watched the game against the Chelsea game, the midweek game, and another youngster, Mason Mount. He's with his back towards the goal. They feed him a ball. He turns, he shoots, he scores. It's a youngster. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? But
yeah, no. It was a very frustrating night, I must admit. I want to just quickly jump to Derrick and ask him, Derrick, what was your thoughts on the game last night? What do you think went wrong? Because the stats show that, well, everything it did end up even. The stats didn't flatter us, but at least we had a number of shots, only got 2 on goal. What do you think went wrong last night?
Listen, man, Morgan, I'm going to start with the team selection. Arteta has been getting it wrong these last couple of games. With the selections, too much of rotation. You understand? Especially at the back. Could you just go back to that slide? We have Rob, Holding, and Gabriel. Last time out, we had Chambers. We had who did we have against Liverpool? We had Chambers. We had Holding. We had
we had David Luiz. Yeah.
You see, so now Cedric's on the left. Cedric's on the left. Hector's on the right. And Thomas Partey. They can't think that Thomas Partey will boss every game, because I hear there's a lot of criticism coming Partey's way now because he didn't do enough. But I would say it started with Arteta. His game plan wasn't correct. They went in too cautious. I also thought there was going to be an uptake in performance from all the players, especially because of that lose, and especially because of the stakes of the game. Because Arteta has only 1 week left to save his job. And if he doesn't win the next game, he's out of a job. I can assure you that. He's probably going to get the new season the first couple of months, but if his fortune doesn't change, they're going to sack him. So the players played with the handbrake on. They played like players that just want to see a goal or two, and then they want to defend it. And we know Arsenal's defense sucks. So I'm very upset. I'm still very upset because the banter keeps on coming my way from the Liverpool game now to this game. It's almost like we lost.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm still very upset.
Okay, Alex, let me ask you.
The same as Wolfie said. I wonder why does Willian always get the nod in front of Gabriel Martinelli? Yeah, he's the long-term solution, but we don't need long-term solutions now. We need goals now. and Martinelli can give that to us. He's dynamic on the ball. The way he presses teams is infectious, because when he starts to press, the rest of the team also presses like that. Laca, I don't know what's wrong with Aubameyang. The hairstyle is making him even worse than he was. So yeah, that's my 5 cents on the day.
Okay. We're going to ask for a couple more 5 cent pieces over the night. Alex, I know we've had troubles with selections. I know a lot of people don't like the way that the players are being rotated. Some of the changes, I think, were forced on us. We had no left back. We didn't have Tierney at least. When you looked at that starting lineup, did you have as many issues as Derrick had?
Well, I don't. Probably not. I mean, we're forced to play Rob Holding because we don't have another right-sided centre-back because David Luiz is injured. We've got to play Suarez because Tierney's injured. Bellerin and Chambers, I suppose he's just giving Chambers a little bit of a rest. I mean, he's played a few games in a row now, and maybe we didn't need the height at right back, although quite clearly we did need the height at the ends, didn't we? Willian, like Derek said, I agree with him in that we shouldn't have. I don't see why we were playing William. I mean, what we wanted to do was come out of the blocks like really fast and go and attack and press them and get those early goals and instead we were just static and I don't see why Willian was selected over Martinelli. I just don't see what he's got in his locker that Martinelli doesn't. I mean, Martinelli's he's so much more of an exciting player. We didn't start to change in the way that we played until Martinelli came on and we started to put in a few more subs. The subs, Martinelli and Aubameyang actually and Pepe, they actually changed the game for me. We didn't, but then at that stage we were at 80 minutes, and it's too late. What we should have, you could see it wasn't working at half time. Make the change early. Make the difference.
He did kind of make some big changes. Once he started making changes, he just brought on 5 players in quick succession, but it was possibly a bit too late. I do want to ask Wolfie. Someone suggested here, I think a couple of players. Saka just came back from injury, and when I saw the miss, I thought, that's what happens when the cobwebs are still there around the ankles. Are we again expecting too much of him too quickly, and him and the likes of Emile Smith-Rowe?
What pisses me off is the fact that we got 3 right backs, we got 1 left back. We allowed Niles to leave, and we didn't search a left back in the January transfer window. There was 2 left backs their contracts are running out. And we didn't approach these guys. I mean, now our whole balance is thrown out. Now we're playing with a right back and left back. It's for me, it's poor management. Arteta is just a poor manager. I mean, look at that. We got a right back and left back. Now, I agree with what that person said. Now, if you have to make a bold decision. I mean, the team that we played yesterday wasn't. If we look at the draw, that was the best team to have played at this point of time. You got to play brave. For me, Arteta's a bit of a coward. What are we doing playing 2 defensive midfielders? Why can't we play 2 strikers? Why can't we throw Saka at left back? We used Saka at left back and he did a tremendous job. He's got the pace. You don't easily beat him. He's left-sided. Why don't we play Saka on the left?
But isn't that really again too much on him? Again, you're asking because the wing backs are probably among the hardest workers on the field. And again, you've got a guy just coming back.
But we're the home team. We are the home team. And I mean, Slavia Prague, I mean, who are they? They got their 2 centre backs was out for yesterday's game. They don't have anyone that anyone knows. They're not that much of a good team. I mean, of all the teams that is now playing in the Europa League, they and Granada was the two favorite teams to play. I mean, we saw what Man United did away. We at home. We're playing defensively. We're playing cautious, handbrake up. It's coward football.
Yeah. Derrick, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Derrick, I want to ask you, Do you think that the players are still in shock after what happened on Sunday, the defeat against Liverpool? Do you think that sometimes when you come off a game like that where you've been utterly humiliated, there are still kind of after effects? You're still a bit shell-shocked. Do you think that that plays a factor at all in how a team then plays?
To tell you the truth, my honest opinion, no, Morgan. I don't think that plays a part. These are professional players. These are players that have sports psychologists. These are players that are supposed to put wins and losses behind them as soon as possible, and have to go again. We must, to me, I think we are making too much excuses for the Arsenal players. Yeah, maybe some humiliation was in the back of their heads, but that should have motivated them even more to come out 110%, press higher, give a show what they're all about, show what Arsenal is about, and show what
I think we've lost Derrick. Derrick, are you there? Okay, Derrick's.
I think even if we reach the final, we're gonna lose. You guys still there?
Yes, no,
still
you
there?
just cut out. You just cut out a bit. You back now. I can hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't think that plays a factor. I don't actually think that plays a factor. I just think they were poor on the day and on the night. And as Arsenal players, they have to let their heads down in shame, because why? They're shaming all of us all over the world. It's not nice to be an Arsenal supporter in this time of the season.
Okay. Alex, I'm always conflicted about the relationship between the manager and the players and what happens on the field. Because ultimately on the field, I can't imagine that Arteta told them to go sit and just miss obvious chances. Are the players to blame for some of what happens on the field?
Yeah, definitely. I think I don't know whether the instructions were to be cautious when they first went out on the field, or whether it was to go for them. But he seemed to think that I don't know. In his own head, he seemed to think that actually we'd had lots of chances. Well, we did have a few chances, but he seemed to think it had all gone to plan, and we just missed the chances. But I don't know. I've heard things that he's losing the dressing room, that the players are a bit divided now. So I'm just wondering, is it only a matter of time before these players get rid of him like they did with Emery? I don't know.
No, that seems to be the current trend. But I do have a question here. I want to talk a little bit about the managers and about Arteta and his place. Because I knew we were going to talk about him, Wolfie. I knew you wanted to talk about him. I just want you to know if you can guess. This is a little something I found. I want to ask you who wrote this. And this is Arsenal looking for a position of team manager, and he must be experienced, the highest qualifications for the post. But there's this little thing that it says: gentlemen whose sole ability to build up a good side depends on the payment of heavy and exorbitant transfer fees need not apply. Can anybody guess when this is not part of the quiz, Wolfie? This is not part of the quiz.
Is this a for real move? Is this for real?
This is for real. Can anybody guess when this was written and who wrote this? Gentlemen, I like the last part. The sole ability to build up a good side depends on the payment of heavy and exorbitant transfer fees need not apply. Okay, I think it's a bit open. So
can somebody say who wrote this? Can I say who wrote this?
You go for it.
Was this during Arsene Wenger's time or what?
Okay, no, I'm going to tell you who wrote
this. David Dean. I'll just go David Dean.
Okay, this actually goes back to 1925. It was an ad placed for a new manager. Also, we're looking for a new manager. And this is what the chairperson, Errol Norris wrote at the time. This was the ad that we weren't going to get. Is this a problem then? Is there a cultural problem where if you're an Arsenal manager, you are never going to get a lot of money?
Can you tell me who got that job? Can you tell me who got that job? I got a good enough answer. Can you tell me who got that job?
Who got the job in 1925?
Herbert Chapman.
Yes, I think you're right. Okay.
I'm telling you now, Herbert Chapman.
Is this the problem that we still have at the moment? That there's a part of me. Oh, sorry, I've got the screen. I've got the wrong screen on. There's a part of me that worries that it was Chapman. Yes, it was Chapman. Sorry, I got you were quite right, Wolfie. The part of me that thinks that perhaps Emery also ran into the same problem that Arteta is going to run into. That he's not going to get enough money and they're not going to be able to build a team. And the question I want to ask is, how much can we achieve with this squad? And again, the question I asked last week, can another manager get more out of this squad? Or are we going to have to buy?
Of course. This squad is not good enough to be. Do you know that we are battling? This squad is busy battling a championship club for 10th spot. Do you know that? We're battling a club that was for I think they were about 14 to 20 years in the championship. We are battling that club for 10th spot.
Are we talking about Leeds at the moment? Yeah.
We are battling them for 10th spot. This club, Arsenal Football Club, these players of 45 million, 70 million, 60 million, 50 million are battling for 10th spot. This manager is not good enough.
So you are putting the blame.
He's not getting the best. He's not getting the best out of his players. I mean, tell me something. If Martinelli was your son and you're not an Arsenal supporter, he's your son, you know his capabilities, you know what he did, he's not getting game time, and people are telling you trust the process, what is going to go through your head? Honestly, you're complete honesty now. What are you going to say? What is going to take for your son? Is it going to take Pepe, William, Smith Rowe? Is it going to take Aubameyang to be injured for Martinelli to get a game, to start a game?
I cannot. Okay, Alex, can you imagine? Can you come up with a good reason? Sorry, I'm the host. I don't have to answer questions. I don't have to think about the stuff at all. I just have to think
Alex,
about questions.
Come on. I want you to answer me that.
I'll try and give you Arteta's answer.
I'm going to tell you, this was Arteta's answer. His answer was, it is hard to find a place for Martinelli in the starting 11. That was his answer.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to back him on this. I think I agree with you, Wolfie. I don't see why he's not starting Martinelli. I honestly don't. I can't see it. I mean, he'd rather play Lacazette and Aubameyang together, or Willian on that side, or Smith Rowe on that side, rather than Martinelli. It just makes it, to me, it makes no sense. The only thing I could think of is that he's being overly cautious because of an injury, but that's not the excuse that's not the reason that he's given. So I just think he's wrong. And I've said this before. I think he only ends up starting these younger players when his hand is forced. We saw it with Smith Rowe as well. I mean, he tried pretty much everyone else in that number 10 position, and then he was sort of forced to play Smith Rowe in the end, and it worked out for him. And some people thought, oh my God, he's a genius, but actually he's not. He's just had his hand forced, I think. And he's similar to Pep. If you look at Pep Guardiola, Pep does not play youth that much. I mean, it's almost like he's sort of forced to play Phil Foden, even though Phil Foden's actually a really good player. But I mean, he gets rotated quite a lot. But what other youths does Pep try out? He doesn't try out any, really.
Okay, Derrick, you are convinced that Arteta is going to go before the end of the season, are you not?
I don't think he'll go before the end of the season. I think if we don't get to the final, or if we don't win this Europa League, I think he'll be under a lot of scrutiny. And I think he might. If we go, I don't know. If we go out in this round, I think he might be gone by the end of the season. If we get through another couple of rounds, I think he might he might get a transfer window, and then the next season, if he's bought a few players in, he'll be under a lot of scrutiny, and I think he'll probably get until Christmas time to try and turn it around with new players.
Will a couple of Derrick, are you there? Derek?
Yes, I'm here.
Sorry.
Oh, Derek, I just want to ask you,
Yes,
do you
yes,
think that, yes, I can hear you now, you just disappeared for a while. If he wins, do you think that if Arteta wins a couple of league games as well, we forget there's still a couple of league games left. Do you think if he wins a couple of league games that maybe you'll be able to stay a little longer? Or are you saying that if we get knocked out of the Europa League, that's the end of him immediately?
Listen, Morgan, as you know, we've been Arsenal fans for a long time, especially you and all the other guys. I've been Arsenal fan since the year 2000, so it's also now a very long time, and I've seen Arsenal's way of doing things. I was quite surprised at the way that they let Emery go, because we know that Arsenal is a team or a club that has patience with managers, even though they go through dips or through high periods. They never change the managers that quickly. So, in my honest opinion, I'm just really pissed now in saying this. But if we don't win that final, I think Arteta is going to be under huge pressure. I don't actually think they're going to fire him, because Edu and the board trust Arteta, and we also trust him. You guys, you can be honest. We also trust him. I spoke to Nigel now the other night, and I told him the one thing that Arteta did was take the fear out of the bigger teams. Like when we go to bigger teams like last season, or in Emery's time, or the last few years of Wenger's time, when City, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, those people came to town, we had that fear factor inside of us that we're going to get the big hiding. You understand what I'm saying? Arteta, just look at his record against these big clubs. I'm not afraid of taking them on anymore. So that I can at least say Arteta did bring a matter of confidence into the Arsenal fans, into the Arsenal players, and he did bring a way of playing. I just think that something is missing in this point of the season. I think that Arteta is trying too much to emulate Pep, even though he's not on that limit or in that category or in that bracket of Pep. He's still trying. Yeah, he's trying to do the stuff that Pep does, and I don't think that was good management of him. Like if we start with the transfer business, we hear the lot of the dead wood is out. But why did he let Maitland-Niles go? Why did he let Willow go? Why did he let Torreira go? Why did he let Guendouzi has attitude problems? I just think that he's the type of manager that comes in and say, listen, this is who I am, and this is what I'm standing for, and none of that will apply furthermore. So I think Arteta is good for the process, and he still has to get his players in. Remember, he hasn't done the overhaul yet, so he still has to get his players in and play the way that he wants to play. So it's a 50-50.
I just want to ask Derek, what according to you, what style is it that he wants to play, or what have you been seeing?
Listen, man, if I go to last season and this season, last season we played a lot of over the top balls, especially in the FA Cup. That's how we won it. On the left hand side, David Luiz would pick up the ball, hit the long ball over to Aubameyang, or hit the ball to Tierney, or hit the ball to Maitland-Niles, and they were excellent in that. And he brought solidity at the back. That was in his first season. And still in this season, the scores aren't that high, and the defense is a bit more resolute. But what his game is like this: pick up the ball, play from the back, play it into David Luiz or play it into Pablo Mari, and then Saka or Partey comes to pick it up, and he then gives it to the left or the right hand side, where the wing backs like Tierney or Bellerin or Cedric would run up. They would bring into play the midfield players like Odegaard, Pepe, whichever player is in the midfield, and then they would ultimately look to put enough bodies inside the box and then cross the ball, because he said, like Pep said, do the maths. If there's more bodies of your team than the other team in the box,
I just want to remind. I hear what you're saying. I just want to take you back a couple of months when he did have that system. We were laying 15th. The crosses in Alex, you obviously all know about this.
Work out. The crosses in the crosses are painful. I just want to go
through that game plan.
No, it was a terrible box.
And there was no one here to hit a ball.
No. I just want to talk a little bit about Wolfie. I want to see if do you agree? I wanted to show you the stats because I know that this thing has been circulating on social media
I'm
and
looking at
wherever.
this stat, Morgan. I'm looking at this stat, and
I know I cannot argue with the fact that his win percentage is poor. This is Wenger's first 50 games, not his last 50 games. By the way, I just want to make that clear. I know that there's been a lot of.
What is this Wenger's first? This is his first 50.
A lot of the stats use his last 50 games. This is his first 50 games.
Okay. It would be nice to have seen it would be nice to have seen what we did in his last 50 games.
Yeah, I think that's unfair because he'd experienced. He'd been manager for 20 years, and there's a little bit more experience.
Okay, so this is his first 50.
Yeah, and you can see that Arteta has done much better in bolstering our defense. This is another little thing that I want to show you. This is an area. These are league games. These are exclusively league games. I then took a look at, this is all games. What you're looking at here now are all games. And these are all the Arsenal managers who've managed a win rate of more than 50%. So they won 50% or more of all their games.
Pat Rice was only manager for a month, eh?
Yeah, no. So this includes caretaker managers. Caretaker managers. So guys who had like 4 games and 9 games and 50 games plus. But if you look at just the guys who were managers, appointed as managers on a full-time basis, the top is very revealing because you've got Wenger, Emery, and Arteta holding up the top. And Arteta's. And just to know the top 3, only 2 won trophies. I think Emery got unfairly treated, but isn't there something there in looking at the stats that suggests that we should be a little bit more patient with this manager?
I just want to remind you, you use the words defense. Do you know there's 14 games without a clean sheet? You conceded in 14 straight games. 14 straight games.
And despite those
3 games,
despite those defeats, and despite the fact that we've gone without a clean sheet for 50, I don't know how many games now.
14 games.
He still has more clean sheets than Emery, and he is close to Wenger. So the fact that he's bolstered up the defense means nothing to you at this stage.
I wouldn't say bolstered up the defense. I mean, what's the guy, the German that took over Tuchel? They before the weekend they conceded like 1 goal in about 10 games or something. We conceded, I don't know how many goals, but 14 games, conceding 14. Our goalkeeper. We haven't spoken about our goalkeeper. He's flat. That goal that he conceded, he flapped the ball in the net. It's just not good enough. Here again, I'm going to go back to Arteta and I'm going to ask him one question. Did Arsenal need the money? Was it about money? Because that alone shows me it's poor management skills that you'd allow a keeper that won you the FA Cup to leave. The guy has been at the club for all his life. He's now reached maturity. A goalkeeper, 28, 29 is maturity. We brought Lameez in. I think he was in his 30s. I don't know.
Alex, okay. I agree with you. I wasn't happy to see Martinez going, but I can understand the logic. If you're going to build, Martinez was great, and I was sad to see him go. But there is a certain logic that if you want to build the team, you can't build it on the back of a kind of 30, how old was he? 34, 35-year-old keeper. You bring in the young keeper. So Alex, I want to ask, because I know we're going to disagree, Wolfie. We know we're going to disagree. But Alex, doesn't the fact that we've done so much better, that Arteta has created a more solid defense, and I think despite going without so many clean sheets, we still not conceding as many goals as many other teams. Do you think that this is just failing to manage and lead and inspire his attacking force?
It's a weird one. I think I might have mentioned this before. Like when he first came in, we switched over to that 3 at the back formation and played a 3-4-3, and I think that helped to solidify the defence at the expense of our attack eventually. I mean, eventually we just couldn't score goals using that formation, so we switched it up to the 4-2-3-1, which is what we're currently using. But I think a lot of our solid defensive performances came using that formation, and B, when Martinez was in goal. I think Martinez commanded the defence a lot better than what Leno does. I think he doesn't trust his defenders that much, and his defenders don't trust him that much. I just think, I think there are some issues at the moment. I'm not sure where they really lie. It might be the keeper. Defenders are making some errors as well. We haven't got a left back at the moment. There are certain elements where you go, our defensive record has improved a bit, but then we go and concede 3 against Liverpool. So I don't know.
We're lucky to keep it to 3.
It almost feels like we've gone back in time to when Emery was at his sort of failure level. That's what it feels like.
Now, I am a little concerned that Arteta is losing the changing room, and then the players are
annoyingly. That statement was reported apparently from Erdegaard, although there's not been a direct quote from him, but apparently he's been saying that the dressing room is actually quite divided, and I think Erdegaard is definitely going to be gone at the end of the season.
Okay, that's kind of sad as well. Okay, guys, we've now had 40 minutes of utter despair, and we want the manager out. I'm
glad you said we.
When I say we, I mean you, Wolfie.
I just want to ask you guys this one question. Why we tend to make statements of when he adds more additions? Why can't he get the best out of the players that he signed? Why can't he get the best out of William, Cedric? Party 45 million. Party had. If I was a Ninja Turtle, I'll count on my hands how many games Party had. He had like 3 good games since he's been here. He's been poor. He's the guy that we would look up to. He's got experience. He came from a big club. But it seems that Arteta is not managing these big players. He's not getting the best of what we've seen out of them.
Now, that is the question that one can ask. I blame the players. I always blame the players because they're the ones with the ball at their feet. They're the ones on the pitch, and if they can't lift themselves, you don't act. Let's put it this way: to sort of quote a movie thing, you don't act with Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino, and just because you don't get along with him, you then perform poorly in front of the camera. That's a bad analogy, isn't it? That is a horrible analogy. That is a horrible. You still want to win.
And on top of that, you can't fire all those players. You can't fire all those players.
That is the thing. Ultimately, regardless of how poor the players are, the manager bears the brunt. He's the one that's fired because you can fire. It's easy to fire one person than 15 or 20. So but I always blame the players. I think the players have to want to do better, and that doesn't always rely on the managers. Guys, we spoke for the last 40 minutes as if we've been knocked out of the Europa League. There's still a second leg. We could still win the second leg and win the tournament. And we have a couple of league games, perhaps a very comfortable run towards down the home straight. We could still have a goodish season. But on the other side of that, we're going to talk about that now, Derek. We're going to talk about that now. just to break the momentum, to shed all this despair, we're going to have a quick quiz about managers. Derek, I know you're sitting in a car somewhere. You probably don't have a pen and paper with you, so I'm going to ask Wolfie and Alex to show me their numbers first, the letters, and then you can shout out your letter as well. Okay, so the quiz goes like this. Ask a question, give you 3 options, and then we go. So let me see if I can bring up the quiz quickly. It's all about managers because I know we're going to talk about managers. So here we go. Arsene Wenger obviously recorded the most number of games as Arsenal manager, overseeing the club for 1,235 managers. That's a lot of games. But which manager on 539 games led the club for the second highest or second most number of matches? Is it Tom Whittaker? Is it Bertie Mee? Or is it George Graham? A. Tom Whittaker, B. Bertie Mee, or C. George Graham? Okay. I left the okay. Wolfie, what have you got there? Wolfie's got C. Alex has got B. Derek, what would you say? A, B, or C? Derek? I think we've lost Derek for a bit. Okay. It's just two. You're going for C. Okay. And the answer is, let me see, is B, Bertie Mee. Okay. Bertie won, so, okay. Yeah, sorry, it wasn't George Graham. I threw in George Graham in the hope that I can catch you guys out. Yeah. Okay. So here comes the question. We only got 3 questions, so it's going to be a quick fire one. So here we go. Red herring or not. Who is the only manager in English football to have an asteroid named in his or her honor? Who is the only manager in English football to have an asteroid name in his or her honor? Is it A, Arsene Wenger, B, Laura Harvey, and she coached the women's team between 2008 and 2012, or C, George Graham? The only one to have an asteroid named after him. Wolfie's got A there. Alex has got
A.
What is it? Has got A. and Derek, what do you think? A, B, or C? Wenger, Harvey, or Graham?
Is that the Harvey at the pub?
I'm going.
Derek, what have you got? A, B, or C?
Yes, I'm going for C, Morgan.
Okay, you're going for George Graham again? George Graham is the wrong answer again. Sorry, this should be A, Arsene Wenger, not B, Arsene Wenger. So my apologies for that. I need to quickly change that. I don't want you guys to see the answers for the last one. So that's A. So that's 1 for Alex and 1 for Wolfie.
And 0 for me.
Yeah. Okay, so far, nothing for you. I just want to show you guys, because I knew you were going to ask, where is that asteroid sitting? And it's there. For the record, this asteroid, which was spotted in 1977 by some Japanese, but not confirmed, was spotted again about 2007 and named in 2007. And it's a distance of 3.84 astronomical units away from Earth. So that's 3.5 times the distance that Earth is to the Sun. That's how far the asteroid is from Earth.
That's how far Wolfie wants Arteta away from Arsenal.
Wolfie, we can put him on the asteroid if we want. Wolfie, you go spot an asteroid.
I need the Japanese to shit him out of Earth.
Yeah, you go spot an asteroid, you name it after Arteta, and you tell him you stay that far away. Okay. Okay. So the last question is Arsenal. Okay, we seem to have lost Derek. Arsenal have had managers from 3 of the 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom, or is it Great Britain still? I'm never sure. Which country is not represented? Which nationality? Is it A, Northern Ireland, B, Scotland, or C, Wales? Which country we've never had a manager from one of these 3 countries as an Arsenal manager? Derek, let me just repeat that question for you. Arsenal have had a manager from 3 of the 4 countries that make up the UK, but which country is not represented? Which country has never had a manager, has been home to a manager for Arsenal? Is it A, Northern Ireland, B, Scotland, or C, Wales? Okay, Alex, let me see. Yours is Derek, go for it. Northern Ireland, Scotland, or Wales, Derek? I hear a bird. Who's got a bird? Wolf, is that you?
Bird. It's
Is it your bird? Bring the bird on, man. Let us see the bird.
I will go for A. I'm going for A.
Okay.
Moment.
You're going for A,
C.
Wolfie?
C.
C. Okay. So the two, unfortunately, it's been a bad night for you. Okay. So Alex won.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Alex had all three correct. The bugger. Wolfie, you had 2 out of 3, and Derrick, you had 0. Alex, we can't afford UK coffee prices, so you don't get anything.
Second place,
soil instead.
We simply cannot. The exchange rate is just crippling at the moment. Okay. So let's talk about the games we've got coming up. The game we have coming up next week. We've got a... Let's see how optimistic we are. We're going to ask for predictions again. But do you guys still see an opportunity? Let's talk about the Europa League game. Wolfie, do you see us still winning? We can still beat Slavia Prague? In Prague?
No. I'm gonna go in my head here. I've been going with my heart now, but I can't. I mean, they got a strong record there at their home ground. I think Leicester has failed to score a goal there in the first leg, so I can't see us going through. It's either that or 2 to 3 players steps up and puts in the performance which we know of, like a player like Aubameyang. Smith Rowe has a blind over game. Saka plays the way we know him. Players take their chances. Manager plays. He puts out a good team. We can't go in with 2 defensive midfielders. He needs to be a little bit positive. His substitutions needs to be made at halftime. If we're going in 1-0 behind, he needs to be brave. He needs to play brave football.
Okay.
So it depends a lot on Arteta and how he's going to motivate these players. If those players really want to play for him, and if they really want to play for the shirt, we should be going through. This is not a good team. Slavia Prague
Wolfie, you've confused me a lot now in that bit. I could see the longer you went on, you went from no, we're not going to win to we could win this one.
Because it's my head.
Your heart is your mind.
You know the rules, the bad rules, the good rules. You feed the one, you feed the other one.
Telling him the answers.
Okay, Wolfie, I feel your pain. Wolfie, I feel your pain. My heart says yes. My head says I don't know anymore.
We all want to go through. I mean, we're going to be the joke of the town if we go out. We all want to win. We want to go through. We want to compete. We want to get to the final.
Unless Man United lose 3-0 at home, so there may be other opportunities. Alex, do you think we could still beat them?
Yeah, we can. Of course, we can still beat them. I mean, it'd be ridiculous to think we can't beat them. Of course, we can. We should have beaten them convincingly. With the if we just taken our chances, we could have been 3-0 up, 4-0 up, maybe. But it is what it is. We've just got to go there and win. It's all or nothing, isn't it?
Yeah, Derrick, are you there? Derrick? Okay, now we've lost Derrick a bit. But do you think that a good result on Sunday could just kind of move the team, convince the team, build a bit of confidence again? And I'm going to disagree with Derrick, who says that if you lose a game and you get humiliated, it doesn't have there isn't an aftermath to that. I believe in post-traumatic stress disorder. Do you guys think that a win on Sunday against Sheffield could help?
It'll lift the spirits, won't it? Because it's been
too
disappointing.
So what happens if we lose? Then people are going to say, Arsenal players had one eye on the Slavia game.
No, you got to win it. You have to win it. Bottom of the league, you have to win it. I mean, Sheffield United season is over already, isn't it?
Yeah, they're done.
They're done. So you've got to beat that team, really. You have to. There's no excuses. You don't beat that team, and it's embarrassing.
Okay. So guys, now we're gonna see what your heads and your hearts say and how they are fighting each other. Just to come up with predictions for. I just want to see, Wolfie, if you've made a prediction earlier for the Slavia game. No, you haven't. Okay, so I just want to talk you guys through this. I'm going to show it to you.
Hello, guys.
So
Still
you
there?
can see, let me just see quickly. Let me do this before I ask you for your predictions. So, Alex, you'd said that Arsenal could beat Sheffield 2-0. That's what you said. Are you going to stick to that, or are you going to change your mind?
No, I'm going to go with 2-0.
Okay.
We might even get a clean sheet. Who knows?
Wolfie, you said we'd beat Sheffield 2-1. Are you sticking with that, or are you changing it?
I'm sticking with 2-1. 2-1 to Arsenal.
Okay, Derrick, are you there? Can you hear us? Derrick? Okay, we seem to have lost Derrick again. Okay. I'm gonna put my name down there and say that we are going to win 3-1. Why the hell not, eh? Okay. So let's see, what are your predictions for next Thursday's game, when we play Slavia Prague again? Any ideas?
Yeah,
Wolfie, do you want to go first? Oh, Derrick, there you are.
Derrick's back.
Derrick, can you give me a score?
Morgan, can you hear me?
Give me I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Derrick, can you hear us? Derrick? Okay. It's gone again. Worcester is far away. I'm surprised. I'm not sure if the casino is blocking the signals there.
The guys on the slot machine. The guys on the slot machine.
Yes, I can hear you quite clearly.
Derrick, give me a prediction for. We've got a game coming up against Sheffield on. It's an away game on Sunday. What do you think this? We can hear you now. Can you hear?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Did the guy say hand me a card? Or?
Derrick, can you hear us? I want you to give me a score prediction for next week's game for Sunday's game against Sheffield. Nope.
Okay. We play against Sheffield. Sheffield is fighting for their lives, so I see a really tight battle coming up. But I would go for a 2-0 for the Arsenal.
Okay. Alex, you have a kindred spirit there. You have a soulmate. There we go.
Friends, 2-0
okay. Derrick, and for next week's game, remember there's a Vida coffee voucher on the line here, except for people who live in the UK. Derrick, what movie do you drink coffee between the beers or after the beers?
I enjoy a good coffee, yeah.
Okay. Derrick, what do you think?
Irish coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Derrick, what do you think the score will be next Thursday night when we play Slavia Prague again?
Listen, it has to be a better performance than it was now the other day, last night. So if we're going to win Sheffield 2-0, I think we're going to be high in confidence, and I think we're going to smash Slavia Prague 3-0 at their home.
There we go. See, people, this is all we're talking about. If this is like therapy. If we just get all the bad emotions, get it out, we always end up with a positive view on life. Let's see how positive Wolfie can get. Wolfie, you said we're gonna lose, and then you towards the end of the monologue
you know what? Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't want us to lose. Like I said, I don't want us to lose, and I'm gonna change a bit. I'm changing my mindset. Like I said, I'm gonna go with the 2-1 to the Arsenal, and a hero needs to step up. I believe Aubameyang is going to be our hero.
He's done it before, hasn't he?
He's going to be our hero. Yeah, he's done it on a number of occasions. He's going to be our hero.
Okay.
Like you got Arteta's WhatsApp contact?
Yeah, I'm gonna let him know. I have insisted that he feels that
I'll speak to Martinelli just to pass the message.
No, I'm gonna tell Dennis that he's gonna have to start Martinelli next week. I'm gonna say, Mickey, start with the Martinelli, man. Alex, you had previously predicted that we'll scrape to a 1-1 draw next week, and I think that's also what Warren has predicted in the past. He feels we're gonna end up on penalties anyway. What's your prediction for? Do you want to change your 1-1?
I'm going to go more positive and go 2-0.
Listen here, as much as I mock the 2-0, I would kill for 2-0 win on things. I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. And I think it's only going to be a 3-1 win. I think we are going to be able to lift ourselves, but after conceding the first goal, we will concede, and then we'll take charge of the game. That's what I'm going to predict. Okay, I think that's the end of our show. Again, like I said, we have no. There we go, everyone. I have no co-host. If anybody wants to co-host or appear as a panelist on the show, please let us know. Please let me or Warren know. We have a big game coming up on. It's only big because we just need to win. It's Sheffield, but I think things are just going so poorly at the moment. We desperately need a win. So anybody wants to be on the show on Monday to talk about the game, we have a panel lined up, but we can still add people. We are then also going to be back next Friday to celebrate making it into the semi-final of the Europa League. Wolfie will be proven right, and Arsenal will win. A hero will come to our rescue. Guys, thank you very much for the show. Derrick, are you there still? I want to thank you, Derrick. If we lost Derrick.
Thank you very much, Morgan. I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay. Derrick, thank you so much for making the effort to be on the show. Thank you, Alex, from the UK, who's just moved. And you can see he doesn't live in a ghost house. It just looks that way at the moment. It just looks very big.
Wolfie, to be decorated.
Wolfie, thank you for those. You always challenge me, and I know there's a part of me that knows that things maybe you were right. But thank you for that and the lovely wall.
Pleasure.
That's what the house should be like when we're on the show. Guys,
Pleasure.
Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for your comments. Many comments tonight, but it's a Friday night. We'll see each other next week. So let's play out with the music, and here we go.
Shalom.
See ya.
Shalom.
Should I say something?
Don't go yet. We're gonna end this now. We're just ending the broadcast, but we can still talk.